Jim the Jinx, written by Ryan and Fox.
Hello again, everyone. I reckon by now you'll be getting the wrong impression of the old Mid-Sodor manager and his dealings with the engines on the old line. Albert and Stanley were the exceptions. They were badly behaved and they needed discipline. However, there's a story that Duke recalled which had a bit more of a happy ending for the engine, who, through no fault of his own, constantly re-offended. It wasn't his fault. Though if you ask Peter, Sam or Sir Handel, they think he was jinxed. However, his jinx did him a good turn in the end, and here's why. Manager, if I dare say, was a horrid man. Sending all his engines away for scrap like that, what a waste.
No, he wasn't horrid at all. He was a kind man, but he said no nonsense for those engines, particularly those who repeatedly offended. There was no place for that. You knew he'd never see any improvement on a Stanley or Albert, and so the only solution was to find a way around it. Granted, those two never got a reprise following their misoffences, but one engine I think all three of us will call did.
You mean Jim the Jinx, don't you, Grandpa?
Ah, yes, poor old Jim. Something was always coming up trouble or running into some kind of trouble. A sensible engine just played with bad luck. It was thanks to one of his accidents that he did actually get saved.
Okay then, what happened to him?
Duke smiled as he recalled Jim's days on the Mid-Sodor Railway. He was a kindly engine who was bought cheap from another railway. This hadn't been one of the manager's better bargains either. Jim never sought trouble, but it seemed to follow him wherever he went, and quite often turned out to be several strides ahead.
Oh, rotten shit! Shoo! Now I'll be late again! Oh, miserable animals, always treating the track like a thoroughfare. Go on, get out of the way!
Give them a good hard blow, Jim. That ought to startle them.
Oh, it worked! They're moving off the line! Oh, splendid!
But even the best of ideas never quite went according to plan for poor old Jim.
It's late again! What the devil?
Stop it! Stop it! Please, someone, stop it!
What? I can't even hear myself above that. Jim, what happened?
Well, I tried getting the ship to move out and a pin flew to my whistle. Then I...
Someone shut that infernal whistle off!
The engines looked on in horror as a workman leapt across the platform brandishing a hammer and slammed it into Jim's whistle, finally silencing and breaking it at the same time.
Oh, I say, that looked nasty.
Everything seems to happen to you, doesn't it, Jim?
Oh, I'm truly sorry, sir, but...
Say no more. At least you're respectful and polite, unlike our new pumping engine.
That night, Jim was anxious. Duke and Stuart were in the shed trying to reassure him.
Oh, what if he scraps me? I'm not that reliable after all.
Yes, but it's not your fault, is it? You're just jinxed. Jim the Jinx, you'll be known in legend as.
That's not on.
At least he's not reckless enough to blindly career off the side. Jim here is just plainly unfortunate.
He's a jinx.
Jim dozed off to sleep, unhappy and worried. The rest of the shed fell silent. The next morning, the manager came to see him with other arrangements.
In light of the fact that we have no new whistles, I've decided that you'd be best suited to working in one of the quarries for the time being. Just until we can mend your old one, or find time to fit a new one.
Don't get too down on it, Jim. It could have happened to any of us.
Aye, but the fact is, though, Duke, it always happens to me. It's not fair at all. It's just not fair.
Morosely, Jim set off for the quarry and set to work there. Since Albert's reign of terror had subsided, the atmosphere and mood in the quarry had lightened somewhat, and the standards of behaviour among the trucks had declined. When they heard Jim was coming to work with them, they gladly seized the opportunity for mischief.
All right. Has he got to come up here and Jinx about?
We want you, Lord Stewart.
Not Falcon. He's too stuffy, and Jim's too jinxy.
Oh, be quiet, you!
Careful, Jim. This is the sort of thing that can lead to accidents.
Jim was too hasty and slammed into the trucks. With a rattle, they flew down the line and smashed into a set of buffers set into the rock face. Breathe clean air.
I don't believe it!
Hey, there's no way they'll believe this was an accident now.
I'll be writing this report, sir. Right now, I'll need you to go and clean this mess up. Manager will be notified, trains will be delayed.
As I said, Jim the Jinx is more than fitting.
After that, the manager relegated Jim onto goods work, in the hopes that nothing further would go wrong. And for a while, it didn't. But it didn't stop manager having doubts in his mind as to Jim's reliability.
The quarry needs the gunpowder today to open up that new vein of lead. But I don't know if we have any available engines. Perhaps one of the shunters can pick it up later.
Surely one of the mainline engines can bring it up for us.
A good idea. They're nearby. One moment, please, and I'll bring you a diagram train. Oh, no. That would be asking for trouble. Surely not.
What's the problem?
The only available engine is Jim. I'd rather not send him. It's too much of a risk.
Look, we need it quickly, and we don't care who or how it gets there. Send Jim.
The manager duly noted this, and reluctantly gave orders for Jim to be steamed and sent on with the explosives.
Oh, I don't like it. What if something goes wrong like it usually does?
You haven't even had a minor accident in months. You'll be fine, Jim. Stop worrying. Everything will be fine. If we puff evenly and smoothly, there'll be even less chance of us sparking and igniting that gunpowder. And coupled with our care, I think we can do this easily. Let's go to it, Jim.
I'll try, but I can't promise anything.
The line was clear through. Each section had been warned, and Jim had to make no interrupted stops. As he chuffed through, the blockmen waved him on in encouragement.
Mustn't blow it. Mustn't blow it. Mustn't blow it. Mustn't blow it. Oh, I don't believe it!
Loudly, boyo. If we charge them, they might go. Or it's working and leaving the track.
Yes! Maybe the Jinx is over! Splendid! Shape of
Soon he was at the quarry. Jim slowed down and was uncoupled from the van, to a small round of applause from his crew. Jim couldn't recall when he'd felt so happy in his working life. He honestly thought he had beaten the Jinx. But when winter rolled around, it was going to be apparent that it was merely lying dormant.
Oh, the snow. It makes work tiresome for us, but we must continue. The valley relies on us. But Jim, I'm worried about that one. I'm surprised he hasn't heard someone yet. I know it's not all his fault, but the track.
But Jim's not had a major derailing, which is surprisingly better than me. What about that section before Ulstead Road, though? He works the quarries, doesn't he?
Between Ulstead Road and a tunnel toward Alsburg is a nasty little shelf. Manager's been meaning to improve it and realign that shelf for years, but we simply haven't been able to afford it. I just ask everyone's careful there.
The following morning, Stuart emphasised the importance of care in this section to Jim prior to them beginning work.
If anywhere's tricky, it'll be there. The gradient's not the most cooperative, and the corners to boot. That, are where Falcon came to grief on the other hot spots. At least Falcon's ledge was refenced.
The snowy weather worsened as the day wore on. Jim was taking a train of loaded trucks from the quarry down to the port, and was trying to give as much attention and care as possible. But the trucks had other ideas.
Can't afford to slip. Can't afford to slip. Can't afford to slip.
We'll give him the slip indeed.
His career's been as slippery as snow ever since he started the street.
We'll soon be at the quarry, one last gradient and we'll roll into Olmsted Road. It gets easier from there. Whew, this snow is getting bad.
I can't even see the track ahead.
We'll take it easy. Brakes.
Jim chuffed steadily through the howling blizzard. His driver applied his brakes slowly.
Oh no, one brakes. They'd better be able to mend these soon, Jim, otherwise it'll be unsafe.
Oh no, you don't!
Jim's driver slammed his brakes on. At first they were able to control the trucks. As the track curved downwards, it forced the trucks to gain momentum.
Not now, Jim. Hold on.
I'm trying!
We're approaching the tunnel mouth. Oh, glory, that sharp turns up ahead in it. This ice isn't helping either.
Oh! I can't stop them! The brakes have started! What do I do? Roger, now, Jim. Fingers, my joker.
Go!
Yeah.
Go on!
Jump!
With a horrible shocking blast, Jim flew off the sharp corner. His crew jumped to safety, and Jim hurtled down the valley side, crashing against rocks and boarding cars flew off him. Some of the trucks rolled down the hillside with him. His crew stood up, stared down at the wreckage, and immediately ran to close the line and get help. Stuart and Falcon were in the works yard when the news came through.
He what? What's that you say? Brake failure? Oh, good Lord, only with him! Get the maintenance crews. Jim's gone and thrown himself off into the valley. I'll have to telephone for a traction engine to hold Jim back. I wonder if they've been doing it.
I can see him. He's intact, sort of. His funnel's crumpled, though.
Oh, glory. What if they can't mend him? It wouldn't be fair. His cab's mangled too.
It's mostly superficial fittings, Stuart. All we can do is hope.
The engines stood in that terrible blizzard all afternoon as the snow and ice swirled about them, dancing between their frames. They shivered as they worked the cranes and began hauling the stupid trucks back to the rails. Then they watched on as the traction engines slowly but gamely chuffed along the hillside, pulling Jim's wreck to the rail side.
Oh, I feel like a piece of scrap.
Don't say that.
Come on, Stuart. Let's get him down to the works and hope for the best.
When the procession reached the yard, 2 engines were ordered to quickly shunt Jim into the workshop. The manager was smiling and discussing plans with the foreman.
Yeah, we could do it with his cab removed. Might be a better proposition, actually.
I don't like this.
I'm sorry, Evan. All we can do is wait.
The engines puffed away, fearing the worst for their friend. The weeks passed, and Jim was not to be seen. Until the morning there was a surprise waiting at the workstation.
Whoa, good glory, it's Jim.
Hello, everybody. He repaired me as good as new.
Took away his cap now. Now he's like the mine engine. So, Jim, what's the manager got planned for you?
A boat trip to the mainland, Duke. That's the plan.
The boat, sir?
Jim's accident has been a blessing in disguise. The board and I decided that Jim wasn't unworthy, just unlucky. Our narrow, twisted line and his weak brakes were unsuited to one another. So we tended to sail with a railway in England, where I'm sure Jim will feel right at home.
But he's got no cap, sir.
His cab was taken away because he'll be working in a sand quarry rep. No sheep to raid his way, no whistles to jam, no heavy slate trucks to smash him, no buffers to break, no valleys to careen off, and finally no brakes to fail. We sold Jim, and with the money, we can at least improve the mountain road to make it much safer. And Jim, I believe, would like his new line. Flat, sandy, and good for fast running. So everyone wins.
Oh, I feel a lot better already. Thank you for everything. It's been lovely to work with you all.
Yes, it's been good to know you. Perhaps you'll find your place now. Don't disappoint me, and have a good life.
With that, Jim was pushed onto the low wagon. The traction engine trundled off down the road track, to the chorus of the engines whistling until they were put to burst.
Well, that was nice of him.
I told you so. Our manager was firm but fair, and Jim got his second chance. Last we heard, he was a quarry's favourite engine.
Wonder where he is now?
Somewhere nice, I'd like to hope. Preserved, perhaps, like us.
Preserved like an old fossil.
Yes, like an old... Why, you little troll!
Well, you did walk right into that one.